Good day, good day, good day, everyone. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. Yes, practice makes progress. So I hope everyone is doing well today. Let me introduce myself. I'm Rev Melissa, and my passion is to give inspiration through spiritual life coaching, preaching, and teaching that ignites the divine spark within you to live life in joy, connected to your yes. It's all about transforming lives. And so I am here to support you in transforming your life from what you imagine to it actually being so. So welcome everyone. Welcome. I see you, Black Icon 111 joining me on Instagram. Good day. Good day. Tunde. It's good to see you. Good day, Shay from the mountains of Colorado. I hope you're doing well. And good day to everyone else that's joining us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and we are streaming on New Thought Media Network. So we are wrapping it up today. I think we're wrapping it up today. Our wonderful, let me put up our banner for our series this week, which is Epiphany. Yes, Epiphany. Yes, yes, yes. Good day, Fee King. Oh, yes, I got a haircut. Yeah. Thank you, Fee. Makes my face pop. All right now. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good day. What a frosty Friday morning in the mountains of Colorado. Well, Linda, I tell you, it's been a little chilly here also in New York City. So, welcome everybody. And I want to give us a recap of our journey in the land of Epiphany. So, definition: a moment of revelation and intuitive insight. The origins of the word is a showing forth, right? So we get to show forth the truth of who we are. That's what it is, a showing forth. So I've been sharing this week with Sekou Writes Epiphany stories. Yeah. So I shared one. The first one I shared was about epiphany and money. So I had a epiphany about money that was triggered by a disagreement I was having with Marco about giving the girls more money after they've gone through their allowance. And that experience triggered an epiphany for me to heal my relationship with money that I experienced as a teenager. So if you missed that, it's on a Wednesday show. You can check it out and see how that turned out. And then yesterday, we was talking about our epiphany with our life, like our life vision. And I was sharing how I found this document that I wrote in 2018 about how I want my life to be. Let me see if I still have it. Yep. How I want my life to be in 5 years. And when I found it and I read it, everything that I wrote in 2018 has come to pass except for one thing, which was to write my book, that I'm speaking on a book I have written. And so that is in progress, and it's been in progress for quite some time, but it's accelerating for me this year. So, what epiphanies have you experienced in your life? I've been asking that all week. What epiphanies have you experienced in your life? So, I was reading an article about epiphanies because I wanted to see about the brain. I'm curious about the brain and the cognitive aspects of the brain and epiphanies. And of course, they've done research. They've done research on this, and they have found that the region of the mind, So there's a difference between our mind and our brain. That's another sip. The region of our mind that epiphanies are ignited from is our unconscious mind, our unconscious mind, right? And so our mind plays around with all these different possibilities at an unconscious level. So we're not even aware of it consciously, but it's being played around in our mind, in our consciousness. And then something triggers all of those possibilities, something triggers it to come forth consciously, right? And we feel it, like there's an actual feeling that accompanies it. And we have a yes, we have a epiphany. We have an aha moment, right? We get crystal clear about an insight. Yes. So Linda's shared that she loves to read neuroscience stuff too. Yes, I do. I could do that all day. So, what I loved about that is that epiphanies are not something that happen to us. Epiphanies is something that occurs through us. It is within us, right? It resides in our consciousness, right? And so if it resides in our consciousness, it's already there. And so what we get to do is to align ourselves with that information, with that intuitive information, so that it could come through our conscious mind. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. There's so much more that I could share about that, but I don't want to right now because I really want to have a conversation with Sekou Wrights about epiphanies and money. And so I'm going to share fees, epiphany, and then we're going to have on my soul brother, Sekou Wrights. So Fee's epiphany, she had an intuitive grasp of reality through something, such as an event, usually simple and striking. I'll need to share mine in your upcoming class. All right, Fee. You're like how Fee just throws on. She shares and then she like gives you a little, yeah, it's a class. It's a class. I love you, Fee. Oh, Fatima said, epiphanies, oh my God, like shift moments, like a spark that explodes into a full firework display. It's the end go and you take off in a direction and it's like the wildest out of control roller coaster of thoughts and bursts of possibilities. You move but you don't even know you are moving, and then you stop and realize it's 6 months, 1 year, or even 2 years, and you have done so many things and lived a million lifetimes in 1 year. Yes, Fatima, I know what you're talking about. That's the experience I had when I had lunch the other day, and that was part of the story that I was sharing with my life vision and the epiphany that my life vision is realized now, right? It's been realized. And it was seeing those women who have been a part of my life for like 30 plus years, like they have seen me grow, in a professional way. And to see myself to see them looking at me totally differently, because they always regarded me as, little Melissa, like I was like the daughter, and I guess I still am, but now they see me like all grown up and they're like, "You doing what?" They're like, "Wait a minute, you living life like you're retired." Right? And they're in their 70s and 80s. And they're like, "I didn't get to do what I really wanted to do until I retired. And you're doing that now." And I was like, wow. That is epiphany. Yes? Yes, yes, yes. So let us be conscious that in our unconscious, there is an epiphany that is just awaiting to become aware consciously through you. And the way that we cultivate that is by spending more time consistently within. What I'm going to say? Through our daily morning spiritual practice, right? Because we need to be familiar with the internal landscape. Yes? All right. I could feel a whole nother sip coming on. So let me bring on Sekou, right? Speaking of fireworks, I love giving Sekou fireworks because I think in about maybe 20 more days, you're going to be at 500. 500. I think so. Yes. Good day, Sekou.
Hey, so I'm at 475 as of today. 475.
So those of you who are with me on Instagram, you cannot see or hear the conversation I'm having with Sekou. So please go over to YouTube or Facebook at iamrevmelissa so you can hear and see the full conversation.
And
So I'm going to end Instagram now because it don't make sense. You're just hearing part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So you can catch the whole thing on YouTube, I Am Rev Melissa, or Facebook, I Am Rev Melissa. All right. So it's good to see you, Black Icon One.
Hi, folks.
Lady Cinnamon, Jean, everybody. Thank y'all. Peace and blessings.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
All right. So go ahead, Sekou. 475 days of running at least a mile a day.
Yeah. And I said this on my show today, but I just wanted to remind people that how you begin is not how you end. How you begin is not how you end. And so I was out there today doing it, like, hitting my switches and everything. But 475 days ago, it was not that. It was not that. I was walking, I was struggling, I was sitting down a lot. I went through the process, but I hung in there. I didn't quit. And now I can claim 475 days. 475 days. Coming up on 500. Yeah.
25 more days. 500.
Yeah.
500.
500. Yes.
So Sekou, we've been talking about epiphanies and money. And this morning you was talking about on your show emergency funds.
Yeah. So I've been talking about this a lot. I've been talking about having an emergency fund because that was a new idea to me. Right? But now, since I've begun it, I see how valuable it is. Because otherwise, something happens and you're just looking for money. Like, oh, I gotta find some money. But when you have an emergency fund, you know where the money is. You know it's right there. And I got this from Dale. I can't quite remember his name, but the money idea is not the money fund is not my idea. I stole the money idea from him, and he talks about having money, and he talks about making sure that it's an emergency, because like when I first started getting that money, I was like, oh, I got this money. Maybe it's an emergency. I get this game right quick, right? Maybe it's an emergency. I get these sneakers right quick. But seriously, when things happen, and you got the money set aside, it makes a whole world of difference. Now, I said that before. What I'm saying new today is it has to be available. It has to be available because I was talking about what happened with me and Fee yesterday. She had a situation with her cousin, and we needed money fast. And I was trying to give her money, but I was using Acorns. That's the place where I've been keeping my emergency fund. And Acorns, it's going to take you until the 26th. Today's the 19th. The 26th before you can get your money. I was like, oh.
It takes a week.
Yeah. And so your emergency, a week, the whole thing's going to be done. Going to be done. So you've got to be prepared for it to be available to you. So follow my lead. I'm going to move my account from Acorns to something much more solid. I got my $1,000. I got to move that over to someplace else, so it can be readily available.
And it's so true what you're saying. Yes, that is accessible, and also defining what a emergency is. Because I had an epiphany about that a couple of years ago. Because one of the things that I used to do, and I still do, but I do it for a different purpose now. When I get a $5 bill, I don't spend it. I save it, right? And so every time I get up to $100 and $5 bills, I'll put it into my savings account. And I do this all year long, and that would become my Christmas shopping money or my, I don't know, vacation money. Like I would save a good amount of money. I'm just saving my $5.
Mhm.
And then when Sekou, you started talking about the emergency fund, I was like, I could make saving my $5 the seed for my emergency fund.
Right.
And so I did that, right? And I'm trying to remember, something happened. And I was like, oh, I could use that money for this. And then I stopped myself and I was like, but wait a minute, is this really a emergency?
Mm.
Or is this just convenient? The fact that I have this money is convenient for me to use it for
Mm.
this purpose, but it's really not a emergency.
Mm.
So I figured out another way to get the money that I needed, and I didn't. And this has happened a couple of times. So I'm going to Egypt in November.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
down payment, I put in a down payment last year, and I said I could use my emergency fund for the down payment to Egypt. And
Mm.
again, the insight, no, going to Egypt is
Mm.
not an emergency,
Right. Right.
right?
Right. Yeah. It's serious. It's serious because you can fill in all kinds of things that you can spend this money on. Like, oh, this will make it so much easier. Let's just take that money out and pay for that. But
Yes,
you got to really think it through about what is the emergency for you. What's an
yes,
emergency for you, and so it can be ready. Because the thing that happened with these causing happened like that, and you need to have the money available like that to respond to the emergency. And now that I don't have that money, and she doesn't have that money, and now she's having to do some very uncomfortable things to raise money for a cousin, and that's not how I want to live.
that's right. That's right. That's right. And I just want to point out what some folks are saying here. So Bonnie is sharing, I don't do well with numbers. I was told that by saving 50 cents a day will add up to $18 plus 18 plus thousand in a year. Um, okay, I would have to do the math on that. But the point there, Bonnie, is it's the consistency. So pick whatever it is. I don't think 50 cents is going to get you 1,000 at the end of the year, because if you saved $1 a day, you will only have $365, right? So if you save 50 cents a day, you would have half of $365. So $5 a day. $5. If you save $5 a day, you definitely have 1,000 by the end of the year.
Right.
But what I do is it's just by happenstance. So whatever change I get back, if it's a $5 bill in it, I save it. And you'll be surprised at how quickly it adds up. I remember one time I gave $100 bill and the guy was giving me change. It was like maybe $20, 25, something like that, what it cost. And the guy said to me, "I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to give you back change in fives."
What are you like? Come on, bring me the five.
I said, okay,
Give me the five.
give me the
Yes.
fives.
Yes.
And then I saved all of those fives.
Wow.
I didn't spend
Yeah.
any. It's like it does not exist in my world. So
Yeah.
Linda is sharing, A money market account works for emergency fund, readily available and earns a little interest. Yes. So that's what I did, Sekou. So I moved it.
Okay.
Because I have my emergency fund. I have a couple of emergency funds. So I have an Acorn emergency fund that I know I can't get to, right? Immediately.
Because it takes you a week to get that money out.
Right. I really won't even call that an emergency fund. It's just there.
Right.
But my emergency fund, I moved to my credit union and did, as Linda's suggesting, a money market through my credit union. And you're right, Linda, it doesn't earn a lot of interest, but it earns a little bit more than it just being in a regular savings account.
Right.
So, and if I need it in an emergency, I get access to it immediately. I could call and have it transferred into another account if I needed to do that. I could go to the credit union office and get the money right now and have it within, an hour, depending on how crowded it is. Because credit union place is always crowded, So it's so important, right? And I hope folks are having an epiphany about this right now.
Right. Please. I hope you're having the big epiphany.
It's so important. Yeah. And so just this week, it just came to me. We need new tires on the car, right? 4 new tires. I took the car in for the AC, and you know how it is. You take the car in and you find out you need something else. Right. So I asked him to check the tires because they didn't feel right to me. Mm-hmm. So he checked the tires. He said, "Oh yeah, you need 4 new tires." And I figured, yeah, probably I do. And I said, "Okay." He was like, "No, for real, like now. You need it now. Your tires are so bad."
Wow.
So I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." So he's showing me because I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So I'm looking at it, and he's like trying to show me all this stuff, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And then one tire had an actual rip in it. I was like, "Oh my God!"
What?
Yes.
Wow.
So I said, "Okay, how much is it going to cost to replace 4 tires?" He said, "Okay, I'll do some checking for you, and I'll let you know. What's your range?" Marco usually takes care of the tire thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, $500. He said, for 4 tires? I said, yeah. He said, oh, no. Right? So it wound up being like $850. Wow. Right? So he calls me, my mechanic calls me yesterday, and he says, so $850 to do everything, and can you bring cash now? Because he's going to order the tires. He's going to pay whoever he gets the tires from cash, because that's how you get the best deals.
Right.
That's another thing. You bargain better. You're in a better bargaining position when you got cash.
That's a good point. Yes, that's a good point.
So he said cash. And I was like, okay. I said, all right. Immediately we came to mind, I can use my emergency fund. Okay. And then immediately we came to mind this is not an emergency. This is not an emergency. It's not an emergency. It's not an emergency. So I said, all right, I have some money here, and here that I was saving for something else. Mm. I'll use that for this and not touch my emergency fund. Mm. Like in my mind, an emergency has to be dire. Like a dire situation. Almost life and death. Like it's at like the extreme for me.
Yeah.
For it to be, because if I don't have it at that level, Sekou, I'll spend it on my deposit to Egypt. I'll spend it on a vacation. I'll spend it on. So the bar has to be really high for me.
Yeah. And it's so good that you have the bar so high for yourself because of what you're saying. Because I was like, boy, tires, yeah, one's ripped. Like, yeah, go on and spend that money. Go on and spend that money. But the fact that you have it at such a high level means that you're always going to have that bundle. That bundle, that emergency fund bundle, is going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And so it's going to get bigger and bigger. And so that by the time you have something dire, it's going to be balling. It's going to be balling, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. 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 All right. I'm looking at the time.
Oh,
Sekou. Like it goes by so fast.
yeah.
But let me check in with folks here. So Bonnie said, consistency pays off. Be like a postage stamp. Stick to it until you get it. Could be money. Yes. Whatever the amount is, pick a number and stick with it, and it will grow.
Yeah.
And Linda said, we had an epiphany 2 or 3 years ago and set up a designated account that my husband and I each add to monthly. The money is for insurance and taxes. This has worked for us. It is separate from the emergency fund.
That's good.
Yes,
good.
Linda, separate from the emergency fund. Like I have my Egypt fund now because I'm not using my emergency fund for my Egypt trip. And the other thing that I learned from you, Sekou, was around the credit cards, because a couple of people that I know who are going on the Egypt trip, they paid it, they paid the full amount.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. And they said, yeah, I just charged it. Right. And I was like, I ain't doing that. I am not doing that. No.
Okay.
So what I do is, because I do installments to pay for it, because this is not a cheap trip.
Right.
So and like I'm a bit of a bougie traveler. So I really do like the nice and finer things when I travel.
First class,
first class. Sekou knows I like to fly first class. Yes. Okay, yes. I do.
Yes. Own it.
So what I decided to do was, because I could get points from my credit card. So if the installment is $1,300, I'll charge the $1,300 to get the points on my credit card and then immediately pay that like 2 days later. Because the other thing with credit cards, this could be a whole nother thing, Sekou, on your show.
Wow, yeah.
The thing with credit cards is you could pay something with your credit card and then say, I'm going to pay it right now. They won't let you do that.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. They don't let you do that. And that throws me into a tailspin. I'm like, yeah, you want to let me give you the money now? Like, oh no. Yeah, they got it.
So they're counting on you to forget.
Yes.
To go back a couple of days later.
Yes.
And pay it. You know, pay it before whatever that period is, 21 days, 28 days or whatever, before they start hitting you with interest. So I set alarms for myself because I know me, you know?
Yeah.
So I set an alarm, 3 days, go and pay whatever that amount is.
Right.
And so that's what I'm doing to pay. So I'm using my credit card, but I'm paying it off within that week.
That's good advice. That's good advice. You say you learned it from me, but I'm learning it from you. Like, that is good advice. That is good advice. And having it and using it for the perks of the credit card.
Yes.
And paying it off, like that's fire. That's fire, bro.
Using it, yes. Yeah, because you could use it for the points you could use for a whole bunch of different things.
Right.
Yes. So those are all of my epiphany, some of my epiphany and money learnings, much of which, Sekou writes, was triggered from you. And what was the hero show, which is now the Get Rich 101 show.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that the lessons I've taught are coming back to me and reminding me that they're lessons that I've taught. Like, I'm learning more about it coming back to me. Like, all right, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. And I need to get on these things.
Like you said, right?
Yeah, like I said. Because remember when I first discovered my show, I was walking through my mom's living room and I was like, that looks like me? And she's like, yeah, that's you. That's how I discovered I had a show. And I was talking to me about money. And I was like, I'm not doing that. But I'm just going to tell you, for those of you that are watching, you need to park your money. Like after you get your emergency money, then you've got to park your money. You've got to like stop parking your money and go invest your money. Yeah. You've got to stop parking your money and go invest it. So have $1,000 parked, but then you got to go invest. Like that's how you got to win. That's the only way you're gonna win. That's the only way you're gonna win.
Yes. All right, y'all. Let me. I'm so over time. Yeah. Sekou, thank you. Clearly, this is not enough time. We could talk about this every single day. Keep it going. But thank you. So I want to share a couple of things, and I'm going to let everyone go. I hope you have gotten something out of the Epiphany. I hope that you will do something different. Your relationship with your money is shifting, that you're having an epiphany about currency, right? Because money is energy. It's a currency, right? It flows, right? So let it flow in an abundant way and not in limitation. So this weekend, I just want everybody to remember that we have Sunday in Praise, which is the other sip. And this Sunday, I will be sharing an inspirational talk that I gave last Sunday at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, where I am the spiritual director, senior minister. And the talk is Say Yes to Life. And it is a good talk, y'all. I was on fire. And at the same time, we have Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, our Sunday celebration service. And this Sunday, we have a guest speaker, Eugene Halden, who is an amazing speaker and teacher. Please join us at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's virtual, so go to rocklandcsl.org, click on Sunday service. The Zoom link is there. Eugene will be talking about the law of yes, because April is our yes month. All right. And let me see. I guess that's all I share. Please remember to support Sekou and check out Sekou Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Get Rich 101. You will learn something, I'm telling you right now. And then also support my soul sister, Fee King, with the Fee King Show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm getting ready to go work out because I didn't work out this morning because I am in the 5-day part 2 abs, ass, and back fat challenge with Fee King. So I have to do my workout, and I'm going to do that now. And I will see you all next week. Oh, my goodness. So next week, I'm going to be in Disney. I'm going to be in Disney next week. I know half the folks have gotten off, so they're going to miss this announcement. But I'm going to be in Disney next week. My intention is to still do the show, but I have to see how things flow, right? Because I'm going to be with 20 teenagers. So I got to see how it flows. I'm chaperoning my daughter's high musical theater class. They're performing at Disney and they're doing workshops at Disney. And so I'm going. So I don't know how the order of the day is going to be yet. So we'll see what happens. So just be aware of that. Okay. All is well. All is well. Okay. All right. So peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes. All right.
Hold on.